Hello students, today we will start with ratio and proportion. In a normal paper we usually see two problems from this topic. One is in section A, another is in section B. Weightage is usually 3 to 4 marks. Let us begin with the topic. The name ratio and proportion. Let us consider A is to B ratio is equal to C is to D. Then A, B, C, D are in proportion. So this one statement indicates the name of the topic, that if the ratios are equal, then the terms A, B, C, D are in proportion. Let us observe this more closely. This leads to an implication that if we write this as A upon B is equal to C upon D, therefore A into D will become equal to B into C. Now A and D are extreme terms, so this can be also written as product of extremes is equal to B and C are called as middle terms, or mean is equal to product of means. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then we can always conclude product of extremes is equal to product of means. Here A is called antecedent because it is the first term, and B is called consequent. So in any ratio A is to B, A is called antecedent, B is called consequent, in case you want to know about the terminology. Let us consider one more ratio. Let us consider if A upon B is equal to B upon C. Clearly here B is called the middle term, right? This B is called mean proportional. This B is called as mean proportional between A and C. Also, if A upon B equal to B upon C, then C is called third proportional to A and C, to A and B, sorry. So one more time, if A upon B is equal to B upon C, then B can be called mean proportional and C is called as the third proportional. Also B is called geometric mean between A and C. So B is either called mean proportional, or you can also call it as a geometric mean. Let us say you try to solve this by cross multiplying, then you will get B square is equal to AC, right? Even this way you can learn the result. Let us now take an example to get this better. Let us consider a problem like this. Say we take two questions. The first one is if 6 is to x. Now this is a sign of is equal to with another ratio, 2 is to 13, then find x. Clearly 6x, 2 and 13 are in proportion, which means that product of extremes is equal to product of means. Therefore we can say 6 into 13 is equal to x into 2. You can do 2 ones are 2 3s are, therefore you will get x is equal to 39. This is your answer. Let's take one more. Find the fourth proportional to 5 4 25. So let us say let the fourth proportional be x. Again we can say that product of extremes is equal to product of means. Therefore in this case it will become 5 into x is 5x is equal to 4 into 25. 5 ones are 5 5s are, therefore x is equal to 20. That is your fourth proportional is 20. Let's take some more points in this. Let's take another question. Let us consider find the third proportional to 9 and 15. If you have to find the third proportional to 9 and 15, it will come after 15. So in our solution, we can say let the third proportional be x. So the numbers are 9, 15 and x are in proportion. If you can recollect the older part, we had discussed that whenever you want to find the third proportional, it will be behaving as C, but the earlier part that we had learned was B square equal to AC. So in such problems, you have to write B square, which is the middle term, is equal to product of extremes, that is 9 and x. So it becomes 15 into 15 divided by 9 is equal to x. 3 3s are 3 5s are. Again you can get a cancellation with 5s are. Therefore x is equal to 25. So our third proportional is 25. Let us now consider a board question. The question is, what number should be subtracted from each of the following numbers so that the remainder does not mean division here. Remainder means the balanced numbers will be in proportion. Now we know there are 4 numbers, so let the common number that should be subtracted, because you have to subtract the same number, so let that number to be subtracted be x. So we can begin our solution. 23 minus x, 30 minus x, then you will have 57 minus x and 78 minus x are in proportion. That is what he is saying, that if you subtract x, the remaining numbers, the remainders are in proportion. If they are in proportion, this implies that 23 minus x, the product of extremes, 23 minus x into 78 minus x will be equal to product of means, which is 30 minus x into 57 minus x. Let us multiply 23 into 78, you can manage 1794, minus 23 into x, minus 23x, minus x into 78 is minus 78x, plus x square is equal to 3 into 50, 30 into 57 should be 171, 0 आएगा, minus 30x minus 57x plus x square. Clearly x square is cancelable, and let us finish this. So this is 1794 minus 1710 is equal to minus 30x minus 57x will be minus 87x, and these terms will become minus 101x, which will come on the other side and become positive 101x. Let us subtract this. We get here 84 is equal to, this balanced number will be 14, so 14x. Therefore if we divide by 14, we will get x value. So x is becoming, how much is x? 84 upon 14 is 6. So the question was, what number should be subtracted? The number to be subtracted is 6. Let us take one more board question. The question is 2011 question. If 6 is the mean proportion between x and y, by now we know the mean proportional word means the square of this number is equal to product of x and y. So from the first step we understand that 6 square is equal to, from the first part we understand 6 square is equal to xy. Therefore xy is equal to 36. Let's number this as equation 1. Further they are saying 48 is the third proportional of x and y. So we can write x, y, and now 48 is the third proportional. So just earlier problem we did, the square of the middle term will be equal to the product of the extremes, which is x into 48. This will help us to write, therefore y square is equal to, x can be written from equation 1 as 36 upon y into 48. Why? Because if you have xy is equal to 36, therefore x can be written as 36 upon y. That is what we are substituting. This on cross multiplying will become, therefore y cube is equal to 6 into 6 into 36, and then 48 can also be written as 6 into 8. Let us take cube root on both sides. 6 into 6 into 6 will become 6 and cube root of 8 is 2. Multiplication will stay. Therefore y is equal to 12. Let us substitute y is equal to 12 here. So we can write, since x is equal to 36 upon y, therefore we can now get x value. Yes, you can orally tell now. It is 36 upon 12. So x is equal to 3. That is what the question was. You have to give x and y value. So x is 3 and y is 12. So these level of problems are coming in board exam. If your concepts are clear about mean proportional and third proportional, then these level of problems can be easily completed. Let us take the next step. Let's go to some other concept. Let us now add a new point. What happens if A, B, C, D are in proportion? So we understand it implies that A upon B is equal to C upon D. Now if these two ratios are equal, and let us say we equate both ratios with K. So we say let the two ratios be equal to K. Then we can express A upon B equal to K, which will give you A equal to BK. At the same time you can write C is equal to DK if you cross multiply D. So in some problems where you have to prove left hand side is equal to right hand side, we may use this. This is also called as K method. Let us take an example. What would have happened if A, B, C are in continued proportion? We have already seen some points about this. But if it is to be used with K method, like sometimes you have LHS equal to RHS questions, there we can write A upon B equal to B upon C equal to K. This implies that firstly A will become equal to BK while B will become equal to CK. That much we can understand because it is similar to the earlier part. Now let us take our attention from right towards left. So this B value is CK. Let us substitute that here. So we get A is equal to CK into existing K, which is already here. Therefore A becomes equal to CK square, and let B remain as CK only, and C will remain as C only. So in problem solving, if you have to use K method where A, B, C are in continued proportion, then A will be equal to CK square, B will be substituted as CK, and C will stay as C only. We will see those problems in some time. Let us take one more point, the continuation of this. If in case it happens this way, that A, B, C, D are in continued proportion. Continued word indicates that we will have to write A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D. Let us say we again try to use K method. Clearly, it is understandable like before, A equal to BK, B equal to CK, and C is equal to DK. That much we can understand. Let us take our attention from right towards left. So wherever you see C, you can substitute DK value. Let this C equal to DK be like that only. So this becomes B equal to DK into K. So your B value becomes equal to DK square. Let us substitute this B value as DK square here. So we will get, therefore A is equal to DK square into K, which is already here. Therefore your A value becomes equal to DK cube. In short, we can substitute in those problems where left hand side is equal to right hand side is to be proved. We can substitute A as equal to DK cube, B as equal to DK square, and C as equal to DK. and D will remain as D only in those problems. Let us try to explore some questions of that type. Let us take a question of that type where we will use K method. Let's take one of the problem, a board problem only, say 2016 problem we will take. The question goes as, okay, now you can see it. The question goes as, if x upon a is equal to y upon b equal to z upon c equal to, and you have to show left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now here it's not said that they are in proportion and already ratios are made, and there are three ratios. You have to show LHS equal to RHS. In such sums also we will use K method. So this looks like the beginning step will be, let x upon a is equal to y upon b is equal to z upon c is equal to k. Therefore x is equal to ak, y is equal to bk, and z is equal to ck. ये z ऐसे लिखा है so that you don't think it is 2. Now there is no need to look from right to left as what we had seen before. Simply we can substitute this in left hand side. So our left hand side is x cube upon a cube. So in place of x we can substitute ak plus y cube upon b cube plus z cube upon c cube. So x can be written as ak, so it will become a cube k cube upon a cube, plus y cube can be becoming b cube k cube upon b cube, plus z is c cube into k cube upon c cube. With cancellation, what happened? I think I will have to rewrite this again, is c cube k cube upon c cube. So after cancellations we are able to get k cube adding 3 times is equal to 3k cube. That is equation 1. The right hand side was 3xyz upon abc. So let's write now right hand side as 3xyz upon abc. X is equal to ak, y is equal to bk, and z is equal to ck upon, let abc stay like that only. So we can cancel out a, b, b and c terms, and this gives you is equal to 3k cube again. And now from 1 and 2 we get that, therefore from 1 and 2 we get left hand side is equal to right hand side. So these level of problems are manageable. Let's take one more board question. If B is the mean proportional between A and C, show the following. If you have left hand side is equal to right hand side type of problems, then we can use K method here. Let's start solving. B is the mean proportion, so we can understand this language we have seen before. It means that A upon B is equal to B upon C. We can say it is equal to K. Therefore A is equal to BK and B is equal to CK. This B equal to CK can be substituted here. Therefore A is equal to CK square and B will become equal to CK. C value will remain as C only in the left hand side. So let's start with our left hand side. Left hand side can become, let us copy the left hand side. It is equal to a raised to 4 plus a square b square plus b raised to 4 upon b raised to 4 plus b square c square plus c raised to 4. Let us substitute a as ck square. So ck square raised to 4 plus ck square square, now b square, so we can write ck whole square, plus again ck whole raised to 4 upon again we have b raised to 4, which is ck raised to 4 plus b is ck square. C square will remain c square plus c raised to 4 as it is. 9th standard, you may have learned law of indices. You have c raised to 4 into k raised to 8, 2 4s plus c raised to 2 into k raised to 4 into c square k square plus c raised to 4 k raised to 4 upon c raised to 4 k raised to 4 plus c square k square into c square plus c raised to 4. Whatever you can take common in numerator and denominator. Clearly c raised to 4 is looking common in numerator. We can take that common, right? This c square and c square will become c raised to 4, 2 plus 2 power. This is also c raised to 4. And here k raised to 4 into k raised to 2 is k raised to 6. And here you have k raised to 4. So we can take k raised to 4 common. K raised to 8 banane ke liye you will need k square here, because 4 into 2 becomes 8. I'm sorry, this is k raised to 4. 4 plus 4 will become 8 that way. Plus k raised to 4 is clearly common. It will become k square here plus 1 upon c raised to 4 similarly common. We will get k raised to 4 plus k square plus 1. This entire term gets cancelled out. This is k raised to 4. It has got cancelled out completely. Even c raised to 4 can get cancelled out. And we are left with k raised to 4. This is your equation number 1. Let us now explore our right hand side. Right hand side is a square upon c square. Let us write the right hand side. Right hand side is equal to a square upon c square. But a is equal to ck square whole square upon c square is equal to c square k raised to 4 upon c square is equal to k raised to 4, which is equation 2. And from 1 and 2 now we can write, therefore from 1 and 2 we can write LHS is equal to RHS. So this way we can solve a problem with continued proportion, या ऐसे लिखा है कि B is mean proportion between A and C. We can use K method. This same problem could have been done in another way also. Let's try to look at it in that perspective. If you want to think in some different way other than what we have done. When they say B is the mean proportion between A and C, it means that B square is equal to AC. This is given to you. So let's begin our solution and let's copy our left hand side again, which is A raised to 4 plus A square B square plus B raised to 4 upon B raised to 4 plus B square C square plus C raised to 4. Wherever you find B square, you can substitute it as AC instead of K method. We are trying this time by some another way. So A raised to 4 plus A square into B square is AC plus B raised to 4 upon B raised to 4 plus B के जगह क्या लिखना था, B square के जगह क्या लिखना है, AC लिखना है, right? So we can write this as, right, B square is equal to AC. So this B raised to 4 can be written as B square whole square. Similarly in denominator, you can write this again as B square whole square. Let me write B square C square plus C raised to 4. This B square is going to become AC. Let's continue. Is equal to A raised to 4 plus A cube C plus this is B square is AC, so this will become AC whole square upon similarly AC whole square plus AC into C square plus C raised to 4 is equal to A raised to 4 plus A cube C plus A square C square upon a square c square plus ac cube plus c raised to 4. Let's take common. If you have anything in numerator, we have a square common. In bracket we will get a square plus ac, because square is common, so 3 will become degree 1 here, plus c square upon. Similarly in denominator you have c square common, and in bracket we can write a square plus ac plus c square. These two terms are identical, we can cancel it out, and whatever is left is a square upon c square, which is your RHS. So this method is a little shorter than K method, what we did. So this one problem we have solved in two different ways. Whichever you are comfortable, you can use in exam. Let's now go further. Let us now learn some properties of proportion. Let's begin with some properties of proportion. We can begin with the first property, which is called as componendo. So if A upon B is equal to C upon D, so if these two ratios are equal, then by componendo A plus B upon A is equal to C plus D upon D. This is the meaning of componendo. There is one more point which is called as dividendo. It says that if again A upon B is equal to C upon D, then it implies that A minus B upon B is equal to C minus D upon D. In many problems we use componendo and dividendo together. So when we use that property, we will write by componendo and dividendo. By componendo and dividendo, we will write whenever this should be but given if A upon B equal to C upon D. So if two ratios are equal, then it implies that A plus B upon A minus B, again A से शुरू करना, is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. There are also some more properties like alternando and invertendo, which are either rarely used or that is just a normal mathematics. So these are the three properties which you broadly need to know. Let us take a board question. Let us take a board question to get a better idea. Say we have a question like this. If 7m plus 2n upon 7m minus 2n, now terms are looking very similar, right? They are just differing in the sign, is equal to 5 upon 3. So you can imagine this numerator is A, this is B, this is C, 5 is C, and this 3 is D. And then they are strictly saying that you use the properties of proportion to get m is to n. So students who will think that I will just cross multiply and get m is to n, that will lead to loss of marks, as they have stated use properties. So let's begin our solution by rewriting 7m plus 2n upon 7m minus 2n is equal to 5 upon 3. Let us write here by componendo and dividendo. Now in case you are thinking how did this strike you, then if the terms are conjugates of each other in numerator and denominator, then you can be rest assured to start with componendo and dividendo. Though in the right hand side there is no hint like that, but the left hand side may, if you are doing that, right hand side may automatically you will have to apply it. So it will become 7m plus 2n plus 7m minus 2n upon, don't forget that you have to start with numerator, 7m plus 2n, put a minus sign, 7m minus 2n, ensure that you make brackets because here minus of minus will become plus, is equal to 5 plus 3 upon 5 minus 3. Again 5 से शुरू करना है, don't forget that. Let us simplify this We can cancel out 2n by oral observation. 7m will get cancelled out. 7m plus 7m will become 14m upon 2n minus of minus 2n will become 4n is equal to 8 upon 2. 2 ones are 2 fours are 2 sevens are 2 twos are. Therefore we get m upon n becoming equal to 8 upon 7. 2 fours are 8 upon this 7 is getting divided. Therefore m is to n is equal to 8 is to 7. This is your first answer. They have asked us further, get m square plus n square upon m square minus n square. And we have already got result 1. Let us use this result. So we can write now, and let us rewrite m upon n is equal to 8 upon 7. As you want m square and n square both, let us write taking squares on both sides. So m square upon n square is equal to 64 upon 49. You can write taking squares on both sides. Continue. Now you wanted plus sign in numerator and minus in denominator. So the best property, can you tell me? Yes, it will be by componendo and dividendo. So by componendo and dividendo, the left hand side will transform into what you want. M square plus n square upon m square minus n square is equal to 64 plus 49 upon 64 minus 49. This is evaluatable by, so this will become, this is manageable, this will look 113 upon 15. This is your answer. So this is how you can do problems on componendo and dividendo. I'll just take it up so that you can go through it again. Let's take one more question of this type. We'll try covering all the latest board problems. And this is one of the favorite for all exams, using of properties. Let's take one more. We have using properties of proportion. See, every time they are writing it, use the properties of proportion. Let me take this question up. Use properties of proportion. So you should be ready to use componendo, dividendo, and then as we had discussed earlier, if you have conjugate values in numerator denominator, you should use both componendo and dividendo. On the right hand side you have 4. This can be thought of as 4 upon 1. So again a ratio formation can happen. Let us begin. We can copy the given question as 2x plus root of 4x square minus 1 upon 2x minus root of 4x square minus 1 is equal to 4. Let us write this here as 4 upon 1. Let's begin by writing componendo and dividendo. So by componendo and dividendo, we will get numerator plus denominator is equal to numerator minus denominator. So we have 2x plus root of 4x square minus 1 plus 2x minus root of 4x square minus 1 becoming is equal to, will become upon same way 2x plus root of 4x square plus 1 minus 2x minus root of 4x square minus 1 is equal to 4 plus 1 upon 4 minus 1. This leads to cancellation, and we are getting a very similar cancellation, which leads you to understanding of 2x plus 2x is 4x upon root 4x square plus 1. Just 1 second. There is a minus sign here. Inside. So root 4x square minus 1, minus of minus will become plus. So it will become 2 times root of 4x square minus 1 is equal to 5 upon 3. Now some students are observing here that whatever was the first term here, it's a double is happening after componendo dividendo. See, it's becoming 4x. And whatever was our second term, it's a double is happening in the denominator. If you would have checked with the earlier problem also, you would get 7m's a double becoming 14m, and second term 2n's double becoming 4n in denominator. But that is because the plus sign is in numerator and minus is in denominator. If the question contained minus up and plus down, then definitely the pattern would change. So I'm suggesting all students not to memorize by any shortcut, but every time write componendo and dividendo in detail, as steps also contain marks. There is no need to skip any step. That's why we are writing in detail componendo dividendo. Let's finish this. We get now the cancellation. 2 ones are 2 twos are. This gives you 6x is equal to 5 times root of 4x square minus 1. Let's square on both sides. On squaring both sides, we will get, yes, you can do orally the squaring. So this will become 36x square is equal to 25 bracket 4x square minus 1. Many students write 5 as 5, they forget to square this. Be careful there, and don't forget to write the reason taking squares. Let's open the bracket of the right hand side. So this will become equal to 25 into 4 will become how much? 100x square. So this will become 100x square minus 25, and here you still have 36x square. Therefore 25 is equal to 100x square minus 36x square. This you can orally tell is 64x square. So 64x square can be written as equal to 25. Therefore x square is equal to 25 upon 64. Therefore x is equal to plus or minus 5 upon 8. Therefore x is equal to 5 upon 8 is the answer, because the question contained x is positive. That's why we will reject the negative value. As it was said in the question that given that x is positive, right? Let's take one or two more board questions, and then if time permits we can see some difficult level problems also. Let us take one more question, a 2020 question, a recent board question. The question is, using the properties of proportion, find x is to y. Now we can't use K method, right? They are saying using properties of proportion. So just by seeing left hand side and right hand side, do not start jumping to K method. Secondly, this is a given information. This is given to you. You don't have to prove it to be equal. It's given to us. And we have to use properties of proportion. So let's begin. Let's begin by writing x square plus 2x upon 2x plus 4 is equal to y square plus 3y upon 3y plus 9. Now, unlike the older problems where I said that if you have conjugate terms of each other, you can start with componendo and dividendo. Now here there is no connection. We are not able to identify any conjugate terms, but we are able to observe that this 2x and this 2x can get subtracted and it will become 0, or if they get added, it will become 4x, which participates or which are usually the terms of perfect square. So that is an encouraging step here, that we can use componendo and dividendo. If they get added, it will form a perfect square. If they get subtracted, well and good, the terms will reduce in size. So we will now write by componendo and dividendo. I will take liberty to write C and D for some time for componendo and dividendo. This will imply x square plus 2x plus 2x plus 4 upon, start with numerator term, x square plus 2x minus 2x plus 4 is equal to, repeat, y square plus 3y plus 3y plus 9 upon y square plus 3y minus 3y plus 9. Making brackets is essential as there will be change of sign in the denominator. Is equal to, we are not able to find any cancellation as we were seeing in some of the older problems. Instead it's becoming x square plus 4x plus 4 upon, but down we can at least get this cancellation and it becomes x square minus of plus is minus 4. Similarly, we are getting in numerator y square plus 6y plus 9 upon y square minus 9 as 3y gets cancelled out. This becomes x plus 2 the whole square, as 4 is a perfect square. This is already a perfect square and this is a middle term 2ab, 2 into 2x into 1 upon a square minus b square is x plus 2 into x minus 2 is equal to y plus 3 the whole square upon y plus 3 into y minus 3. We have a chance to cancel out the common factor. We can cancel out x plus 2 and y plus 3. Of course, x will not be minus 2, because if it is minus 2, then we can't cut 0 upon 0 term. Anyway, let us copy the leftover, which is x plus 2 upon x minus 2 is equal to y plus 3 upon y minus 3. We are now finding conjugate terms in numerator denominator, which encourages us to use componendo and dividendo. Students who will cross multiply may lose a mark as use properties as compulsory. So we can again write by componendo and dividendo. This becomes x plus 2 plus x minus 2 upon x plus 2 minus x minus 2 is equal to y plus 3 plus y minus 3 upon y plus 3 minus y minus 3 in a bracket. In numerator, we have a chance to cancel 2 and x terms. This becomes is equal to 2x upon 4 minus of minus is equal to 3 cut 2y upon 6 as y gets cut. 3 minus of minus is plus 3, 6. 2 can get cancelled out. So we get x upon y is equal to 4 upon 6. Therefore, x upon y is equal to 2 upon 3. That is what was asked. Find x is to y. We have finally got x is to y as equal to 2 is to 3. So this was the latest board question of 2020. We have done that question also. Let us now take a recap of this problem. This is how we did it. This entire componendo and dividendo se chalu kiya. There was no hint of conjugate terms, but we still went ahead with that because using properties bola and perfect square ban rahe the, as was discussed before. Let's take some unique questions, some offbeat ones, and then we can conclude for this topic. Let's take a question like this. The question is you have to find out x, that is solve bola, but by using properties of proportion. You have to find out x. Now to find out x, we understand that this 1 minus x and this 1 plus x square if multiplied, they form a formula of a cube minus b cube. As we know, a cube minus b cube formula is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Also we know a cube plus b cube formula is a plus b, a square minus ab plus b square. That's what will happen when you will multiply this with this. So instead of directly applying componendo and dividendo, it is very important that you first rearrange the question terms by writing this as the first step in our solution will be 1 minus x into 1 plus x square upon, we can bring that 1 plus x here, into 1 minus x plus x square is equal to 62 upon 63. This will now become, this numerator will now become a cube minus b cube, which is 1 minus x cube upon 1 plus x cube is equal to 62 upon 63. Clearly conjugate terms are visible. You can apply componendo and dividendo, and now it is manageable. Do not directly use the shortcut of doubling them, as you can now see there is a minus sign up and plus sign down. So don't take double of 1 and write in numerator. This will now become 1 minus x cube plus 1 minus x cube upon, begin with 1 minus x cube minus 1 minus x cube is equal to, sorry, 1 plus will come here, is equal to 62 plus 63 upon 62 minus 63. We'll continue. This becomes, no doubt 1 and 1 will become 2 here, but please understand the denominators double will not work. Like x cube का 2x cube नहीं होगा. You will get minus x cube, minus of plus is minus, so it is minus 2x cube is equal to 125 upon minus 1. 2 is cuttable. We get therefore x cube is equal to, minus also will get cancelled out. We get x cube is equal to 1 upon 125. This is now by taking cube root you will get x is equal to 1 upon 5. So the initial step was important of cross multiplying and realizing that it is a cube minus b cube pattern. That was the only thing different in this problem, right? So एक बार वो हो जाता है, then it looks easy. Let's take one or two more questions of this, just one or two more, and then we can stop for this topic. Let's take a question. Question is again solve for x, and you have a question appearing like this. Aggressively opening by a minus b whole cube is not a great idea. You can observe, you can take a moment, this is a minus x, again you have a minus x here. If it gets cross multiplied, the degree will become 4. Same way, if this is brought here, again the 3 degree will become 4, and 16 is anyways 2 raised to 4. So our first step, I'm not solving in detail, just hint perspective we are solving. So this can become a minus x upon a plus x the whole raised to 4 if you cross multiply is equal to 1 upon 16. This 16 which was multiplying has got divided on the right hand side. Let us take 4th root on both sides. Therefore a minus x upon a plus x is equal to, now because it is an even root you will get both answers plus or minus, so you can write plus or minus 1 upon 2. Let us now read the question again. They have not said use any properties, or they are not forcing anything. In this case, let's cross multiply and finish this. Another method could have been componendo and dividendo. So we can write 2a minus 2x is equal to plus or minus a plus x. we can segregate the question into two parts. Therefore 2a minus 2x is equal to, if you take positive value, you will get a plus x, or you will get 2a minus 2x is equal to minus a, minus of plus is minus x. This becomes 2a minus a as a equal to 3x, or we will get 3a is equal to x. You can verify this by changing, bringing the terms of left to right. Therefore we get x value, because solve for x बोला आपको x बोलना ढूंढना है, x is a by 3, or here simply x is equal to 3a. This is your answer, right? So some problems are appearing difficult, but if we can understand one step, especially the beginning step, things become really easy for us. Let us take one more question. Say we have given x cube plus 12x upon 6x square plus 8 is equal to similarly y cube plus 27y upon 9y square plus 27. Strictly saying, using componendo and dividendo, get x is to y. Let's begin our solution. You can copy the given question. As you know, these problems we are just writing from hint perspective. Let's write by componendo and dividendo. So numerator will become x cube plus 12x plus 6x square plus 8 upon x cube plus 12x minus 6x square plus 8. Similarly, right hand side will come as it is, just the variable will be y, and of course that is 27y here. So y cube plus 27y plus 9y square plus 27 upon y cube plus 27y minus 9y square plus 27. Now there are 4 terms in numerator, the degree is 3, and we have learned a lot of times a plus b the whole cube formula. Students who have learned this formula know it is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. So x cube, and this 8 indicates 2 cube, so it will act as b cube for you. Same way, if you would have here minus sign, then the first sign is plus, then you have minus, then again you have plus, and then minus. Let's see what this question is going to show us. The numerator is x cube plus 12x plus 3x square. So just for your understanding, we are writing this step in detail. It is x cube plus 3 times a square. So let me write this term first. So it is 3 times 2, and then we have 3a square b, right? a लिख दिया, 3 लिख दिया, a के जगह पे हम क्या लिखेंगे, x लिख सकते हैं, राइट? 3 के जगह पे x लिख सकते हैं. सो ये हो जाएगा 3x स्क्वायर, a क्या जगह पे x है, तो एंड इनटू b, b इज 2 बिकॉज 8 2 क्यूब होने वाला था, प्लस 3 इंटू x इंटू 2 स्क्वायर, that will become 12x term, and we have written 6x square term here, plus 2 cube, right? And let me just write this as, this is going to transform into x plus 2 the whole cube. So I'm not writing the denominator now, just writing the numerator for us and making you realize that numerator is going to become x plus 2 whole cube. Similarly, you can open this, minus of plus will also become minus, and this minus and this minus will be those terms which will become x minus 2 the whole cube. So our next step will become, this is all for your understanding part, I'm making a bracket over there. Our next step will be x plus 2 the whole cube upon x minus 2 the whole cube is equal to y plus 3 the whole cube, 27 है, upon y minus 3 the whole cube. we can safely take the cube root, and when you take cube root there will be no plus or minus. So let's take cube root here. Let's take cube root. On taking cube root we will get, therefore x plus 2 upon x minus 2 is equal to y plus 3 upon y minus 3. We can apply componendo and dividendo here. We can apply componendo and dividendo here. So I'm writing it here by componendo and dividendo. I'm just writing it directly. If you want, you can verify it. 2x upon 4 will come is equal to 2y upon 6. So 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 1s are 2 3s are, and you can write x upon y as equal to 2 upon 3. Therefore x is to y answer will become equal to 2 is to 3. That's what was asked. So the last three problems were basically done just to take up more variety of problems, and we have solved many board problems in this video. I hope it is helping you.